Hey guys, this is Vinny and I have a gold and silver update for you. It is May 13th. This is also a follow-up to the May 8th video that I did on silver. So if you're watching this and you haven't seen that video, I'm going to be putting the link in the description box below. Definitely check that video out because you'll be current with what's going on in the silver market, my thoughts, and also that video is going to be tying into this one. So it's very important that you watch that first if you haven't already. So for those who have watched that video, um, what you see here is basically Globex. This is the silver chart globally, so pretty much. So this basically never sleeps except for 45 minutes. So it's open from 6 p.m. Eastern to 5:15 p.m. Eastern the next day. So it's only closed for 45 minutes. So what you see here represents the rest of I guess the entire world that trades silver in the futures, right? So, okay, as we know, silver had a nice move to the downside. It had this horrible, horrible, horrible retracement. And by the way, I'm just zoomed in, okay? And there's a reason why I'm zoomed in. So, just to let you know about that. Okay, now this line that you see here, this is the 21-day moving average. Okay, now this isn't a big deal, but it's always good to be above the 21-day moving average. There are three moving averages that it's always good to be above. So 21, the 50, and the 200. Now, in my previous video, I gave many reasons as to why the buying power was weak. And what I'm going to share with you right now, it's going to be in addition to. I'm going to give you more reasons as to why I feel the buyers is still weak. So now, if you noticed and this right here is May 10th, that silver actually closed for the first time after being, consolidated and in this little box pattern, that it finally closed above the 21-day moving average. The previous day to that, it tested it, but the sellers would not let the buyers close here. And so thus silver closed in this area. Now it's very important just to let you know where a stock, a security, what have you, closes. It's very important. So for example, if you have a very critical support line, then it's very, very important that that security or that stock never closes below that, even if it's a penny below it. Never, because the next day, if it closes below that support line, even if it's a penny, then the next day you're going to have a huge sell-off. And that's what happened in silver and gold. And that was actually two things that I told a lot of people. There were 2-3 Facebook groups that I sent a message to. So when gold and silver were falling, and at that time they hadn't fell that hard. So basically, I thought that the move was going to be very slow initially, and then the next day it was going to ramp up and pierce the levels. But it was actually very fierce that day. So, anyways, I basically told him that if gold closes below 1530, then the next day there's going to be a lot of sellers. There's going to be a lot. Sellers are just going to take control. Same thing with silver. That if it closed below 26, even if it was 25.59, that's it. Silver's done, short-term wise, that is. And so it's very important, especially when it's a critical point as to where it closes. Now, the 21 moving day average isn't critical. It's not a big deal, but it goes to show that the buyers tried to get this above the 21 moving day average and they failed. They passed it the next day. So it passed. They got above it, and well, that didn't really last long, because on Monday the sellers took control, and which is today, 5:13, and now it closed below the 21-day moving average. So what that tells me is the sellers are still in control, and this is today as well. So like I said, you know, the Globex, it trades from 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern the next day. So this was basically after 5:15 Eastern, and this is the next session. So okay, so I wanted to bring that to your attention, and also I see a little head and shoulders pattern forming. Okay, I could be wrong on this, but now mind you, I love head and shoulders patterns. I love them. I don't know what it is. I just like them, and they're easy to spot, and they're good opportunities for making money. So anyways, this is the left shoulder that I see. This is the head, and now this is the right shoulder. Now the shoulders don't have to be, you know, the same length or anything like that. It doesn't even have to be perfect, to be honest with you. So there's the drop. This is 22, okay? So this is 22 level, and what I'm saying is if it can close below 23.43, then I think that we're headed to 22 without any issues whatsoever. So now it hasn't really closed here. So when the right shoulder was forming, you didn't see it close. It always closed above this line. Okay, it didn't really close below it. So if it can close around this number here, the 23.40 or 23.43, then it's definitely going to 22. Regardless, though, it's going to 22. That's I kind of made my feelings on that known, my thoughts on that known. So also I wanted to give you an update. So you know, it's still in a squeeze. We'll see what happens. The momentum is just horrible from a buyer's perspective. Seems to be a lot of indecision here. So from a buyer's perspective, I wouldn't be long. No way. And I mean, also, would you really want to be long? Would you really want to go against the trend? I mean, you know, no, definitely not. That's, you know, that's basic trading. You know, as one-on-one trading. Never want to go the opposite direction of a major trend unless if there's signs and high probability that there's a reversal. That's because the big money has a lot of influence in markets. So that's also why professional traders who know what they're doing, don't yell manipulation, you know, when something continues to go forward, because they know better. They know the big institutions, the big money, the hedge funds. They know they have a lot of influence because of the dollar amounts that they spend, that they trade with. So there's a lot of probability that tells me it's going down. I don't see anything that tells me it's going up. That's the thing. Fundamental wise, yeah, okay, but who cares about that? That's not until much, much later. I'm just talking about the short term. Now, if you're watching this and if you don't like trading, because, you know, trading's not for everyone, okay? But if you are into accumulating precious metals, technical analysis is very important because it will tell you good opportunities to buy. There are many groups and there's many people, and I'll probably discuss this in another video. I really don't like to call out people, but you know, I'm really, really tired of people and groups, whether it's on Facebook, Facebook or YouTube and other websites that try to influence people based on fear, that they need to buy precious metals now, or you know that there aren't going to be any metals left, or you need to buy it now because tomorrow the world's going to end. And I really, I've lost a lot of respect for those people, and you know it's really important that, you know, if you want to be a smart investor, and even if you're just wanting to accumulate metals, then it's very good to at least know the basics of trading. All right, so I'm looking at a $22 target temporarily. When it gets to $22, which I think it will be very soon, probably in a week or two, it may oscillate for a few days. I don't know how. It probably won't oscillate that much because it's already tested here. All right. Now, once it touches this, if it pierces it, it's probably going to go in these levels over here. This is $20 to $21. That's a nice target. At that point, then we'll have to kind of reevaluate to see where silver could go. Okay. Now, if you see here, there's an on my retracement here, it says $18.85. What that is, just for those who are unaware, usually when something goes down pretty hard, it does what's known as a dead cat bounce, and then it goes down even further. I drew this really wrong. I'm sorry. It goes down, dead cat bounce, and it goes down further. And the reason why I drew that wrong is because this second, so this is called a second leg. Let me use a different color. So this is called a second leg, and over here is called the first leg. So it's supposed to be proportionate. Usually it's proportionate. Your first leg is proportionate to the second one. Right here is where your retracement is. Usually that's 50 to 61.8 retracement level. And at that point, usually traders, what they do when they're short over here, they cover, and then they either wait, which usually that's what they do, they kind of wait, and when they get towards a 50 to 61.8, then they short again, and then they take advantage of this nice move. Now, it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes, so with this, you know, here's the first leg. Here's the horrible retracement. I mean, if this isn't obvious that sellers are in control, I don't know what is. Okay, so first leg, horrible cat bounce, and it could go to 18, or you know what? I wouldn't even in my head. I would just think of this as 19, not even 18.85. So it could go to 19, but don't be surprised if it stops in these levels, only because, you know, the leg 2 and the leg 1, I mean, like, the legs aren't always proportionate, so you never know. We would have to kind of reevaluate when we get there to kind of figure out how's the momentum, how's the RSI, is it oversold, how's the stochastics, things like that, how's the volume. So there's a lot of things that, you know, we have to reevaluate when we get to that point. Now, this is going to be unlikely, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyways. If for some reason it goes to 22, doesn't even consolidate, but the next day it shoots up fiercely towards like the $23 range, then we would have to reevaluate some more to figure out, okay, do buyers now have some of a control in the market? But that's not. I'm not going to say that's not going to happen. I don't think it's likely that that's going to happen. Okay, everything's possible in trading. Trust me. I mean, just when you think that it's impossible, it'll happen. So I always try to think of both, you know, the buyers and sellers perspective, so I can have an objective viewpoint on what's going on. So again, MACD is horrible. Still in a squeeze. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said in the video on May 8th, we really don't know how long the squeeze will last. We really don't know how long it will last, but when it fires, it's going to fire pretty nicely. So we want to definitely be on the right side of that. Okay. Now, for people who buying precious metals, I would pretty much be eyeing this. Well, not this range, but I'll be eyeing the $21 and the $20 and a possible 18. Now, having said that, I do believe it's going to go. It may go below even 18 as well. But 18 is a very nice target. It all depends on where gold is, because I do believe that gold's going to go to 1200, which will then make it very likely for it to go to 1000. And I don't know where silver will be at that point, because silver is very unpredictable. It's volatile, it's harsh sometimes, and then it's not really harsh. Like, for example, this move down wasn't even that much compared to gold when you look at it percentage wise. So, okay, enough of silver. I want to go into gold right now. This is the Globex as well, so same thing with Globex. It's pretty much open 24 hours with the exception to that 45 minutes. Now, okay, so, I'm sorry if this is too much stuff on here. Just bear with me, guys. So, it fell pretty harshly. It did a nice, healthy retracement, okay? Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit clearly. So this is the 61.8. Notice it didn't even close above it. Always below it, and it only touched it twice. Just twice it touched it. So it tested it here, failed. And it tested it here, failed. So where's it going? It's just slowly going down. This is what I said, that when you have a really nice move to the downside, you have that dead cat bounce, which that's what we're going through right now, and then you'll be continuing that downward trend. There's your leg 1, there's your leg 2. This is a very nice area to short if you are trading. If you're just looking for picking up some deals, do not buy in this area because there's going to be very good opportunities coming ahead. Now, just like in silver, I do see a head and shoulders here as well. You have a head, you have the shoulder, and this right shoulder is forming. Okay? Now, when it gets to this level, which is 1385, when it gets to 1385 level, if it closes below, alright, it's nearly 100% it's going back to the lows of 1320. 1320 region. I'm saying 1320, not 1321, only because some trading software suites are like a couple of bucks off the actual gold price. Okay, so give or take 1320. Once it does this, and just like I said in silver, what should happen, and I'm not saying this will happen, but what should happen is when it comes here, it'll consolidate for a day or so, not too long, and it'll just pierce it. And my next target is 1200. That's my next big target. But there will be a lot of, support areas that it would have to go through. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you all at the moment. And also the volume. So on my climactic volume indicator, this red bar is a sell signal right here. Say that sellers have a huge control at this point. And what do you know? It's this bar, which was last Friday, which was on the 10th, I believe. It's this bar that actually that started to form the shoulder, the right shoulder. Okay, so, and also momentum-wise, it's going down. So yeah, it's going to be interesting move. So that's what I wanted to share. For those who have subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. If this video is informative, please like it and share it with friends and family. And until next time, hope all goes well with you, and you make some money. And if you're not trading, hopefully this is informative, and hopefully this kind of helps you have a little bit more of an objective point of view when it comes to the precious metals market. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day.